very first live on YouTube. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Let's hop right into it. I'm going to train my eyes to look at the lens. But if you are new here, welcome. My name is Dana. I am chemist to CEO and founder of the brand Derma Dana. We are a beauty brand that helps women recover their edges and achieve their dream hair length. I will be sharing many tips on if you're interested in growing your hair to waist length. If you do not despise small beginnings and you want to know how I'm going to build this brand to from 0 to 1 million, you're in the right place. I just wanted to come on and share a couple of testimonies and some tips on really growing your channel. And although my channel is very small right now, I just want to share a little bit about what's been going on with me. So, a little bit of background. Years ago, God has told me to just start coming online and posting, right? I was very intimidated by that. I had a fear of being seen, like many people do. And so I had delayed obedience. But I finally got obedient and I started posting and I did a 30-day sprint over on my Instagram account. So if you're not following me on Instagram, follow me on Instagram. It's the same handle, Dharma Dana. And so I just want to share a couple of testimonies first. So, number one, when you're asking God for a provision, He's not always going to give it to you in the form of money, right? So, for example, last week, I had a really bad episode with brain fog. If you've dealt with that, you know that it's not a joke. Okay, so like I was having a really bad time. I couldn't concentrate, so I was very upset and like I just felt that I prayed about it and also I reached out to a couple people for prayer, and then one of the ladies that I prayed with also gave me some tips, some lifestyle tips on supplements and changes I could make. And so on the list of supplements, I put a list in my phone in the notes app. One at the top of the list was protein. So she said, make sure you're getting 100 grams of protein per day. Get you a protein powder to help you reach that number, and blah blah. So that was our conversation. We prayed and we did a lot of things. Um, and also she prophesied to me, but that's a whole nother story. So the very next day, I go on my Instagram account and I see an ad. It's not even a regular post, it's an ad. So literally my favorite protein powder that I've been using for several years has an ad, or they're running a promotion right now where if you sign up for a subscription, you get your first full-size protein powder for free. Okay? For free. Full size, okay? Matter of fact, let me get it for y'all. Yeah, the size of my head, okay? Yeah. So it might be backwards because I'm using my front facing camera. I'm filming this on my phone. So I got that protein powder for free. It just came today. All right. In that package with the protein powder, there's a little card with a QR code for another free full size bottle of another supplement that I've been looking into, researching, wanting to try for the past few months since 2025. Okay. So that's literally two blessings on the back of that prayer call, crying session, all the things. Okay. That was the first thing. So then, although I had the protein knocked off of my list and then the other supplement knocked off of my list, I'll share that when it comes. I had still had a list of other supplements that I needed to buy. Now, if you are an entrepreneur, then you know that sometimes you have lots of money on hand and sometimes you're like, I gotta make some shake, right? So, long story short, I had $100 to spend on supplements. And so, if you know anything about buying quality supplements, like supplements you would find at like your Whole Foods, whatever, and if they're not on sale, then it's gonna add up really fast. So, I had spent maybe like 70 of the $100. Maybe it was maybe like more like $60 actually. But I got my supplements, I got what I needed. I ordered that on Monday. Now, mind you, I did not want to spend that money. God wanted me to have these supplements, hence why he gave me the free protein powder, right? But I still hesitated. I had to repent for my delayed obedience because literally, as soon as I spent that money on Monday, on Tuesday, yesterday, today's Wednesday, Tuesday, Lord, on Tuesday, I got a business grant. Now, this was a live drawing for a business grant, something that I've been like showing up for the past, I think on there it said like I had been to like 65 live drawings or something, but like the way that I almost missed it, like I'm telling you that yesterday was a wild day. I'm living in an autism house right now. I'm with family, and there was just a lot going on yesterday. I have an alarm set on my phone so that I can apply to the grant and also show up to the live drawing every week. But I'm telling you, the alarm went off, it came and went. I almost said, you know what, I'm just gonna skip today. I almost did that. I was so close. But I showed up and I was actually watching a live drawing from my phone. And if you see me look over, it's because I'm looking at notes. But I was watching a live drawing from my phone, and I literally just happened to have the phone in my hand when I heard them announce the business name, Derma Dana. So again, if I have a post about that I posted yesterday on my Instagram, so go ahead and watch that if you missed it. But yeah, so that's my second testimony, right? So the first thing I said, God does not always provide in the form of money, but and also the second lesson was you're going to miss it if you don't show up. God is sometimes waiting for you to be obedient and then he'll give you the blessing, but also showing up is like literally a major part. Like if you have no idea all the things that are going on with me right now, I might share some of them at a later time, but please know that if you use, like, this is for people that God has specifically instructed you to show up online, post online, no matter whatever the platform is. If he told you to show up, do not use whatever's going on in your life as a reason to not be obedient. Because if it wasn't for this, because I was doing a posting sprint with Stand, it was called a Dare to Post challenge. If it wasn't for that challenge, like I promise you, I probably would have fell off. So having accountability also helps. And then that's a great segue into some of the creator tips, right? Um, so some tips, and some of these tips I've mentioned on my Instagram account. I did a post on my Instagram maybe 2 weeks into the challenge, but I'm going to mention the things here because some things bear repeating. All right, so number one, there are a lot of people posting a lot of tips right now. I think the number one thing that you need to concern yourself with is whatever God told you to do, right? There are people that there's all kinds of post this time of the day, and it's not that those things aren't helpful, but sometimes when you are like when you're forming the habit and you already have a lot of things going on, you don't want to add on to that, like trying to be perfect in the way you're saying things, and oh wait, does this have a hook? And like, I'm not saying that I didn't consider any of those things, but what I am saying is that just show up until you form the habit. Just show up. I know that we like to say quality over quantity when it comes to literally lots of things, but in this case, I really think that quantity is more important. Do what you have to do to show up until you form a habit, right? I'm talking about people that are, if you're posting on a regular basis, right? I'm posting daily, and I feel like the people that are going to, like, the people that are serious about growing their channels are going to show up every day, right? I know that that sounds wild. It feels wild. I can't believe I did it for 30 days, but you have to make it a habit, okay? And so that leads me into my next tip is like figure out what kind of posts you can make that don't take you a lot of time. I know for me, ideas are not I'm not lacking in the idea department, right? Now some of my ideas are things that take more time to be executed. Like I'll come up with an idea that needs to be filmed, for example, and I'm like, okay, well, I ain't filming today, so what am I gonna do? Rely on your camera roll. All right. I know you go out and you film, you look at, you film what you're eating for dinner, you film yourself going out for a walk, you film yourself getting dressed, whatever you have in your camera roll, find a way to make some content out of that. You can do a voiceover, like you can add some music. I feel like the rest of that, you can make it work. Okay, so figure out the type of videos that you can, I guess that's kind of like two tips in one. Figure out the type of videos that you can push out that don't take you a lot of time. I know for me, that the time the rate limiting step is what I like to say, because I'm a chemist. The rate limiting step for me is always editing. So figure out the things that do not take a lot of time to edit, right? And again, for me, it's usually the videos where I already am using something that's filmed in my camera roll and I can just do a voiceover and add music or whatever. And speaking of editing, I use CapCut. It doesn't really matter what you use, as long as you are just getting into the rhythm of just figuring it out. We're all learning this, okay? None of us came out of the womb knowing how to be a content creator, so like you're gonna have to learn some things, and that's fine, right? Okay. Next thing I wanted to mention was you don't want to be overly obsessed with your analytics and how your posts are performing, again, because you're trying to develop the habit, right? Now, you do, after you've posted for like 30 days, you want to go back and look at your analytics. And you can do that in the Instagram app. You can also do that in the Edits app, which is, I actually toggle back and forth between CapCut and Edits. I pay for CapCut Pro, so like a lot of things I can do a lot of things in CapCut that I can't do in Edit. So sometimes I'll start the video in CapCut, and then I'll transfer it to Edit so that when I upload it to Instagram, it'll say made with edits. I feel like they push it out more, but that, again, we're getting into like the nitty gritty, and I don't really want you to be too concerned about that right now. But yeah, you do want to at some point know how to look at your analytics so you can see like the top liked posts, the top shared posts, the top viewed posts, and all those things. And again, you want to look at that, but only after you've been doing this consistently for like 30 days or so. But yeah, honestly, I'm super proud of myself. If you happen to be here from the Stand Dare to Post challenge, I'm proud of you as well. We did it. I came on here because I specifically wanted to let you guys know that I'm going to be present on this channel way more, because God has put on my heart to post for 100 days. So that I have 70 more days to go. Okay. Posting every day. So I'll be doing that I'll be prioritizing my YouTube channel. So you're going to see a lot more from me on here. I need to catch you guys up on, what happened once I moved to Dallas, all of the things. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.